All right, peace, sister. How you doing?
I'm blessed.
Okay. Wow, we're in front of a structure like any structure anywhere in America today. First of all, why don't you introduce yourself to the viewing audience?
Wow. My name is Queen. I've been doing this, like finding these vacant properties like they diamonds in the rough. And right here is a historical land site, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's all type of funding available with this. Like it's new market tax credit dollars. There is historical land site dollars. There is tax increment financing, right? All this to say is that there's all these vacant buildings, right? There's all these vacant cribs, and yet we talk about how we gentrifying, how we pushing people out of places to live, and it's like that's crazy. Well,
let's back up, because this is definitely an issue. This is anywhere in the country where black people are. We're definitely dealing with a housing crisis. You know, after a chemical biological war against us, you know what I'm saying, the housing is becoming a very important commodity to have for survival right now.
No doubt.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what you do and the conditions on the ground with the people as it relates to housing?
So some of the things that I do right now is like co-housing. I'm able to take a place that was in foreclosure, and I was able to work with the landlord and ask him to let me run my program out of there.
And your program is?
One Family, One Community.
Okay.
And so I was able to actually get some people some housing when they was living by the Mississippi. They was living out by the Mississippi River. And I was able to continue to do this for a couple years with a couple different housing locations. But mainly, right now I'm in North Minneapolis, which is one of the biggest gaps of disparities in the country right now when it comes to housing and black folks being pushed out and gentrification being pushed in. And so I'm able to, like I say, give them a place to stay, some stability, and that's one of the most incredible things that I could do right now.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, as housing is an issue everywhere, you know, let's just deal with what we can do as a people. Let's just say how many units in this particular property? Let's go over here and
look. So this is like five buildings.
This is what?
There's 5 buildings here.
There's five buildings in here? Kind of like an old school New Jack City kind of hook up, you know, somewhere in downtown area. Let's just say how many people could actually be housed in this complex?
I would say at least 300, 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. You know, there's a lot of conversations about gentrification and all the different kind of dynamics going on within the community, but it's not like we don't have money.
Right. I mean, we can afford a $1,400 or a $1,500 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom for a bed bug, roach infested, rat infested house, but yet we can't afford ownership. And we always know this: if you don't own anything, you don't change nothing.
And what we could do, potentially cooperatively working together with limited money that we do have within our resources as a community. So let's, as we walk outside here, let me ask you a question, and this is more of a question of power. What is preventing us as a people from knowing our problems not asking anybody for anything, and exercising our power and what we have in our skills, gifts, and talents, in our resources to come together potentially and cooperatively buy a property like this.
So here's my thing, right? We hear people screaming this equity.
What does that mean?
To me, it means equal access and equal opportunity.
Okay.
So
is there federal or state laws that protect equity?
There's state laws. I mean, it's in the Constitution about equity. But in the Constitution is the 14th Amendment, which is equal protection under the law.
Okay.
Which black folks rarely are able to get.
Okay.
Right? And so the other piece to this is that if we able to pull money together,
right,
I think that's where the base is, where we did this before, so this ain't new.
That's power, right?
Right.
When you can exercise your power and your resources, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so in a city like where we're at, you know, limited but respectable black population, definitely going through struggle in housing. What will it take for us to like work together and actually pool our resources together to do power moves like this, to come together as a potential collective and buy and purchase a property for our people's needs for housing?
So I'm gonna give it to you in the short.
Okay.
The short is that if we don't put our money together and stick together, none of that is gonna happen, right? Because a lot of us don't even know how to adequately acquire property at cost. We don't know what that means. We don't know what it means to get a clean title. We don't know what it means to have a deed. We don't, you know, there's a lot of different obstacles that's already out there with who actually owns these properties, the banking system. And because we don't really know how to acquire these properties, I think that's where we lose our biggest, you know, we lose our biggest pots of money. Housing and transportation, there's only two big pots of money. Every time they drop a train or a metro line, that's housing. And so they just kind of wrapped everything around that kind of financing. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, this will be a first of a few different segments we do around this, but for those who are curious about these kind of issues or would like to seek more information about issues like this, how can the people access you and that information?
So I have a WordPress. It's One Family, One Community, the number one Family, One Community at wordpress.com. Also, you can reach me at onefam1community@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter as The Queen Travels. We got a Facebook, One Family, One Community. And you can reach me at 651-354-9855.